flipping through the paper on a Saturday morning. In my head, it's always been a Saturday morning. He's sitting on the porch drinking his coffee, flipping through the Tennessean.
It was a Sunday morning edition.
Oh, the Sunday morning edition.
Yeah.
Well, now you've completely wrecked the narrative because in my head it's always been he was on his back porch on a Saturday morning sipping coffee and reading the Tennessean. So, but it was Sunday.
Well, it's funny, man. I've got an article here. I have kept it. Let me see what's
Oh my
the
gosh.
I can't get uh,
We'll
oh
take you.
again. That was from the Tennessean, Sunday, September the 18th, 2011.
Wow.
Article by Kevin Walters about first paragraph. Franklin resident Kathy Hall was a 12-year-old girl living in tiny Walnut Ridge, Arkansas, when the Beatles happened to stop by her town one day in 1964. For a few minutes, the most popular rock and roll band in the world stood on the landing strip in a farming community, waiting to board another plane while hundreds of residents of Walnut Ridge looked on.
What
I don't
made
know.
you cut it out?
There is just something. I mean, I will always love small town stories. It was such a funny moment of, well, that's a piece of kind of rock and roll history that I don't think I've ever heard about before. No plans for it, but it just was interesting. And one of the things, and I folded up and kept it in my desk for a lot of years. So when did I pull it out again? I mean, I've been mindful of it. When was the first time we got together to talk about
Gosh,
a
a year
second?
ago, June of
Well, I
23.
think you told us about it, or you told us you had an idea that you wanted to bring to,
Uh,
While we were working on the table.
yeah.
So still, I mean, late 22, early 23.
Yeah.
So 11 or 12 years. It
But
just
seriously, like for all these years, this has been tucked in the back of your mind, or did you ever forget about it and like you're cleaning out your desk one day and see it, or what?
well, no, you know how when there are songs that you have the idea and you instantly write it and you know what to do with that. And there are other things that you encounter, a movie quote, a Bible verse, something like that, and you go, there's something here. I don't know what it is. And for me, those are scribbles on post-it notes that have gotten filed away in folders through the years. And as you look back in time, most of them, I have a clean out period after Christmas most years, and I go through and go junk, junk, junk. Maybe still something. Hang on to it and spend some more time with it. And this
So
is just
like every beginning of the year for the past 10 years, 13 years, you've pulled this thing out and gone, oh, hang on
I've,
to this.
I've looked at, I've seen it. It's kind of always been there in a folder or in my desk. Yeah, but I always love it. There's just something in it that I don't know what this is about, but this story moves me.
Was
Yeah.
it always like this is a musical, or was
That's
it
what
ever
I
like,
was going to ask too. Like, when did it hit you? Like, maybe this could be a musical.
At some point in working in the table, just as we discussed story so much and the importance of story and how that moves somebody, and it came back as like, there's a story here, and there's even a link on here that directs you to a Walnut Ridge website and kind of the storytelling. And I had begun to go through some of the online stuff about it and just was like, this is really fascinating. Gosh, because I mean, an average teen in a small town, their hero visits their town under cover of night. I love that part. I love that part of the story. Where are they? Are these people that I love somewhere here? And so,
And I
yeah,
think
that
probably
piece.
all we felt a connection to it because we all came from that place.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
were all dreamers living in little towns.
yeah.
and
Billy
believe,
Joel never came to Monroeville, Alabama, as far as I know. That would have
but you
been
would
cool though.
but it would have been emotionally the same thing for
It
you.
would
That
have been. Or
that
Lionel Richie, either one. I don't care.
yeah, yeah. And the possibility of, wait, no, it really happened. Wait, it happened for and you meet a number of people online in different stories. And Carrie Mae Snapp just kept coming up in a number of the online articles, and a video clip or two, and it was like, well, she's interesting. So is it, and I never, as I thought, and as we talked, it was never like it's the story of the Beatles. No, it's the story of this town. Oh, even smaller, it's the story of this person and how this event marked them in a way.
Yeah. So
And
cool.
then comes the real life question of who is she? Is she still out there? And
Is she
what
going
kind
to
of
think we're weirdos for wanting to write about her life in a musical? It's a musical.
that whole thing about how far do you go into this before you contact this person
Well, and
who
then the stalking began.
and y'all joined in on the online stalking and
Oh,
spent some time and then both came back and went, golly, this is really interesting. I mean, yeah, y'all were, I remember the day I threw it out, y'all both were, oh gosh, because it got kind of a visceral reaction from both of you. Like we've talked about a number of things, but this was like instantly like nothing else we talked about.
yeah.
Mhm. I
So,
still have a list of the things that we talked about,
oh, wow.
and those all just kind of got pushed to the side when this kind of.
Wow. Yeah. I
And
remember
then
a couple of those.
the more you looked at online, you were like, she's interesting.
Hmm.
She's got an interesting story. And what you could tell from the rest of her story of how she was impacted by that. Oh, she runs a store called Imagine. Wow, that's interesting.
And I think the fact that it's about, you know, had this happened today, everybody would know about it.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
didn't. And it happened in 64, and it
Yeah.
took all these years for us to even learn about it.
Yeah. Oh, look, here's this little town out here that has been celebrating it with a festival. And as somebody who follows pop music happenings and events with, I'm not obsessive, but I sure read a lot um and I have never heard this story. Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow. And you keep going, surely somebody out there has done something with this, and um nothing that I can find. I don't know. So
Well, yay for holding on to old newspaper clippings.
Yep.
still got it.
All right.
Never know what a day might